See, what are the messages that your heart is trying to send you or wants you to know? What are you not hearing that the heart is trying to say? So we'll just do a little pick a card about that. And I don't know. If there's anybody out there who is feeling like something is just not like working with another person or a company or a workspace, whatever it is, it's really, really time to reconsider working with them or being with them. I'm not saying to break up or quit your job or anything like that, but I'm saying it's time to ask your heart, what is it that I really need from other people? What is it that I'm not getting? And what is it that I can provide for myself that I have been waiting for somebody else to provide for me? Because to be honest, if they haven't provided it yet, and it's been a while, then they're not going to provide it, you know. So I'm just gonna use these for the reading, but I'm gonna use these because they're all nice messages and they're pretty cards for the groups. Anyway, though, I just got a message to light a candle, either green, red, or pink, whichever one you're most drawn to. Oh, my crown chakra just really, my whole right side, starting from the crown, just really started giving me chills. So that's really important. Light a candle. I'm going to do that too. Light a candle, put some intention in it, but you don't need to be specific. A lot of times that is important to be specific about the message that you're putting in, or sorry, the intention that you're putting into a candle or whatever kind of magic you're doing, if you're into that. But you don't even have to think of it as magic. You can just think of it as kind of, like we were talking about last time, like aligning your energy to what you most want. So in this case, we're not aligning your energy to a specific thing, like a specific number or a specific person or a specific kind of person or whatever. The intention should be like to realign your overall energy. Kind of imagine the cloud that surrounds you, like a pretty cloud, to a feeling, to kind of, I want to say energy, but that would be redundant, energy aligned to energy. But basically that. So for pink, red, or green, all of those things for me are kind of related to the heart. Green is the heart chakra, red is kind of passion, and pink is also about the heart. So whichever one of those aligns with you, and just put the intention to align your energy to something that will make your heart open, and to for it to open to what will bring it and you the most beauty in your life. Okay. So yeah. Let me know if you do that. And just, you know, let the intention be that, like what I said, that it's gonna harmonize, it's going to align your energy just to whatever it needs. Don't put any specific in it, because the universe wants to surprise you with something. That's what I heard. This card is the title card of the deck. The universe has your back, and you probably noticed it was on the bottom earlier. And for some reason I kind of avoid getting this card because it's I don't know, because it's the title card. So but anyway, that's pile number 1. The universe has your back, and look, it's got a pink moon. Cute. What kind of wisdom do you have to share with other people today? Somebody out there has wisdom that they need to share with someone else. That is very important. If something popped up in your head, that's probably what it is. The second one, the second card for pile number 2 is my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. It's very hard. It's not an easy message to understand, but it is true. Aligning with that is so important. Something I'm still very much in the process of learning, whatever that word process means. So for pile number 3, by the way, has a lot of blue in it. So, I feel like there is something some of you really need to admit to someone, and not like admit like you've done something wrong. Maybe some of you have feelings for someone that you haven't ever expressed that need to be expressed. No pressure. Or maybe some of you have a sadness about something that you really, that needs to come out. It cannot be stuck inside of you because it will just create blockages. Let me also say that today I learned that if you think you have a blockage, then it just perpetuates the blockage. So don't let that perpetuate any blockage you have. Just recognize that maybe there's one there and immediately say that you're choosing to release it. Whether it happens immediately or not is not the issue. Just try to absorb the fact that you are going to release it. You're going to release it one way or the other, and it's probably easiest to express what you need to express. So I honor how I want to feel. I love it. Sometimes this deck, I don't use it because I'm like, it's a little too positive, little too rainbows and butterflies for me, but you know, I think today we need that. We really do. So yes, pile number 3. Here we go. Pile number 2. And pile number 1. So if you chose pile number 1 with the universe has your back, then this is for you. So I'm going to choose another one of these cards to start. And what did I do? This owl has its eyes closed. You have your eyes closed to your own wisdom. What is it that you've been like, that you know is true, but you refuse to see? Because whatever it is, your heart is requiring you to open back up to that. It's like you don't want to be wise. It's like you don't want to be smart in a certain area because you know if you accept that you are, then you will have to change something that feels comfortable for you. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So, again, I think there's something about your thinking here which is causing your heart to suffer in a way that is not, it doesn't need to suffer. Ooh, I'm getting those chills again. The way you're thinking, it's like, for some reason those blue dots remind me of like galaxies, galactic clusters. And I almost see a person like speaking there, like a person like just their lips, kind of not the top of their face. Kind of scary actually. But it's like the universe is speaking to you. The universe is speaking to you, but you're like, no, I don't want, right? And we've all been there, but it's time to try to release that. And and it's not about right or wrong thinking. I don't really love that, but I think it's about the thinking that will open your heart, and the thinking that you've been habituating or have as a habit right now is quite contrary. So it's like maybe just take out a pencil and paper, and you don't need to write for a long time, like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. Whatever are the thoughts that you have about the important things in your life. Nothing that's going to stress you out too much. Just, whatever. Write them down and try to find a better way to frame it. Try to find a better thought to replace it with. Don't let it be too don't let it be too totally out of your wheelhouse that it seems ridiculous to you, because you can make it a progressive thing, so it doesn't seem it's not a strain to you. We're trying to avoid that. So yeah, anyway, so let's use these cards that I saw on Rosology's channel. She is amazing. I love her. What else does group 1 need to know about what their heart is saying, and what their heart is saying about what will make them the most joyful, what will open their heart even a little bit or a lot of it, for their greatest joy, for them to discover what love really is. Okay, so discovering what love really is going to be an important aspect. I don't know where I heard this today, because I mean, there have been videos playing all day. But someone said, like, maybe some of you don't really know what love actually feels like, because you've been thinking it's in places where it's not. So anyway, that's just what came out here. So we have Queen of Cups here. So for some of you, children are an important aspect. If that's not resonating with you, then I have another theory. But yeah, actually the other theory is probably more accurate. So you could have children. It could be something about children. It could be that you've been focusing on raising children and trying to love them, but you haven't really given that to yourself in your whole life. And Spirit is saying, if that's the case, then that really, really must change, because in order for those children to see what love is themselves, they need to see their parent do the same. It can't just be love for them all the time, even though that's what they think they need right now. That's what they think they want right now, but really that's not what's going to benefit them the most. So there's got to be some boundaries set up with kids, in some way, if you have kids. If this is not about kids for you, then this is what is your inner child begging you to do, because ooh, yes, I'm feeling it. There is some activities, there's something you need to go and do, and just like in order to really release something, because release doesn't, what I'm hearing is release doesn't need to be some like crying, a time where you lay down on the floor and cry. It could be, that's wonderful if it helps, but in this case, a release for you is really finding something that is going to bring play and joy and like an innocence to your heart. Okay, so going outside and doing something, maybe playing a video game, like literally anything like that. If you played video games when you were younger, that's me, then maybe it's time to play video game, like if you haven't done it in a while. So I'm probably gonna do that later. That's a really great idea. It's not just gonna help open your heart and release some traumas that maybe you haven't been paying attention to, but it's also going to just bring in this, like the candle is going to just bring in an energy in your field that will like align to what your heart is really needing, the next step. So this is like one step, and then the next step is not necessary to know right now, because we're not thinking about these grueling processes that go on and on and on. We're just thinking about the journey right now and how we can enjoy it the most. And yes, you can enjoy this release process. It doesn't have to be grueling, and it shouldn't be, and it will be more efficient if it's not. So find that thing that you used to love to do when you were a kid and do it. I just heard there's a man who has never seen his children. If that is the case, if that's like something that sounds familiar to you, he's not worth continuing to think about. I don't know where that came from, and I hope that wasn't a harsh message to put out there, but it's like you can't rely on that person anymore. So if there's, and for the inner child sort of thing, you can't rely on only your masculine energy to get you by, even if you are a very masculine man, and I'm sure that you're very strong and whatever. But that aspect of you cannot be alone. It cannot. You have to have you have to bring in some feminine energy. You have to bring in some calmness, some peace, some nurturing. And it could also mean even integrating some of that. So if you feel like you always need to be gruff and like, or if you're a woman and you always feel like you need to be working and like something like that, then it's time to find a balance to that in general, because your heart your heart space is just craving that. It's just craving a nurturing quality that hasn't been really brought to it in a while. We have the Seven of Wands. Those alligators. I don't know if those are alligators or crocodiles. I don't know if you can really tell from the side, because I think the difference is the width of their noses. So one thing I hear is you don't need to know exactly what kind of predator something is to know that it is dangerous. If there is something that is that you know or you feel is dangerous to you, it doesn't matter whether they're a psychopath or a narcissist or just someone who needs to go to therapy. It doesn't matter. Those boundaries must be set, because this person could potentially cause you heartache and cause you to close up more. So if there's someone who is toxic to you, let's not go and call them toxic, because we don't know really what's in their heart. Or maybe you do, but it's still not the most skillful thing to do, because you're not them. So it's not about them being toxic. It's about how your energy interacts with theirs, right? So maybe they are going to be going to find someone else in their life and they're gonna make them very happy, and they're gonna change their ways and blah blah blah. But they're not gonna do it with you. Whether this be friends, whether this either be an inner aspect of you that you need to let go of and you need to allow to transform. The predator is a predator no matter whether it's a crocodile or an alligator. And it will chase you, and it will try to bite you and hurt you. So leave it alone. Don't pull its tail. Don't put food in its mouth, thinking, oh yeah, it's so cute, maybe I can make it. No, you cannot make it. You cannot make a predator nice to you by giving it treats. You can't. Six of Cups. Okay, so here we go. This is a little bit a gentler message again. So really finding, like, if you have a friend around you, or if you have somebody who is open, completely open to you know, being intimate, I think it would be good for you. I think it would be good, but don't go out searching for it. Like, it's only if it's already available to you you know, you have yourself as well. But even beyond that, I think this, I keep hearing cariñoso. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that word right, but it's like, and I'm not even sure I understand the word, but I know it has to do with like, kind of like this, like that kind of like, you know, like nice, kind of sensual, like, a friendly, loving sort of energy. So there needs to be some kind of that. Anyway, there needs to be kind of like this like gentle, like, you know, kind of touch. And whether that be of yourself or others, it doesn't have to be anything adult either. It just could be a massage. Maybe a lot of you do need a massage. That would help you. Feldenkrais would help you if you need a massage. That would help more. Or doing both of them could be good. But any kind of gentle touch is very important for your heart right now. Let's see if I see anything from these together. We have the child there with the mother. We have the person kind of playing with the predators. And we have the two people just like, just being human together. They're just really like, really recognizing each other as individuals. So recognizing yourself as someone who used to be an innocent, helpless child, who maybe is now an adult, who has made mistakes, and who has made excellent choices as well, and who has choices to make as far as their discernment goes, because your discernment here is directly related to how your heart is feeling. So if you're, because they're one and the same, you need your heart for discernment. So I think it's saying, if you can give yourself this kind of tenderness is what I was trying to find, tenderness. This kind of tenderness, this kind of releasing of blame, like you would do like a child. Like a child might misbehave, but you're not going to hold it against them for the rest of their lives, I hope. You need to give that to yourself right now. That's what your heart is asking you for. Okay, so let's see anything else. Just like, I'm gonna do some tea leaf cards because I've just been loving these today. So, this came out. Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. Again, whoever this is, I know in my life I know who this is, but this must be for other people too, because it's coming out here, and I've been told about this person a million times by various readers on YouTube, so I'm very well aware. So energetic boundaries, whatever that means for you. So maybe a black candle would be called for. You don't, you know, everybody has their own standards of morality, but from what I'm told by my own guys is that those standards are not always so concrete, and and some people are sent here to be a conduit of justice. So if you have been attracting, or if you have attracted even one person who is just whose heart is dried up and maybe even non-existent, or who really is not in touch with their heart, and they hurt you, or they hurt others, you are allowed to protect yourself, to defend yourself, to protect others, using your very powerful abilities. And whatever that means to you, that's what it means, okay? It doesn't mean that you should do anything that you think is wrong. So we have a month of the year, January. Maybe some of you are Capricorns, I am. Candle, oh my god! Y'all, I can't make this shit up. Candle. What is the message here? You will be shown the way. So if you can even just open your heart just this much, because we're not trying to make a huge transformation right into an hour, you know? Then you will be shown the way to the next step, okay? Maybe it'll be here on the channel, maybe it'll be from your own heart. Probably more your own heart, but you know, we are social creatures. There are other people in this world for a reason. This thing about always relying on self all the time for everything, you can only do it if you do it yourself, it's just not right. It's just not right. That's not why we are here in this 3D plane with other beings all around us. It's just not right. Okay, so do rely on other people in some ways without being overly reliant. Don't be codependent, but you will be shown the way. So put that in your intention, beyond the intention I said for the collective. Okay, one more thing. Actually, well, okay. Celebration, fun, enjoyment. Yeah, we already talked about this, but it's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate what you have accomplished, the choices you have made that were the correct choices. It's time to make that a priority over the choices that were mistakes, because we all have made mistakes. We can own that and move on to the next thing. We can own that and also own the good choices that we've made and make those the ones that stick out to us. Okay. So that is all I got for you, pile number 1. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm really humbled. Please like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. And if you want a reading with me, the booking is down below. Yeah. See you guys later. That was awkward. Okay. So if you picked pile number 2, then this is for you. So my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal conditions. So right now, the chaos that might be surrounding you, I'm kind of seeing it like a dust cloud in the desert, like one of those little tornado thingies. That's what I'm kind of seeing. It's like that. Let's go back to the desert and the dust cloud. That person is sitting there. There's no wind or anything. It's only that little dust devil, because he's like telekinetic and he's like really pissed about something. That's what this is. It's like you are feeling a certain kind of way, and it's causing this chaos to ensue around you, and you're like, what the is happening? Why is this happening? What did I do? It's not that you did anything. It's just that your mind is extremely powerful. Everybody we all are very spiritually powerful, because in spirit, there's not so many, like, how can I say, it's not so, there's no levels, right? I mean, there's levels. I don't know how to explain this. Like, as far as the human spirit goes, the powers that we have are different, but are on equal footing, and we can all have the same powers at the end of the day. However, in the human form, when we are in this human form, some people have extremely strong spiritual powers and some people don't, and that's fine, because there's always something that makes up for it. There's always something that makes up for it. That is the idea of justice, right? In the justice card, that is the idea of temperance as well. However, there are some people whose spiritual gifts are very, very powerful, and they don't even know it. It's like there are people who don't have any kind of spiritual life, and that's fine. If they don't want it, it's not for them. But they still have these powers, and they still can create this chaos around them. They can still, they might still be able to slip into somebody's dreams, or I'm getting a lot of energy, like somebody can go into somebody's mind, somebody can go into and change something or cause a perceptual shift. And maybe you don't know this. So there's two things that I'm getting. So both you have the power of causing either chaos or calm in your environment, or in an environment, change the energy. Oh, I just got a really big ring in my ear. Or you are able to slip into somebody's mind in a way, and it sounds evil, but it really isn't. It's just another gift. It can be used in a good way or a bad way, or not used at all. And I think that, yeah, Anyway, so those gifts are going haywire for some of you because you are feeling trapped and locked in, and you're feeling like you can't get things settled. So I'm gonna pick another one of these because I did it for Power 2. So we started. So we did about 20 minutes. So I'll try to stick to that. I can't always promise I'm going to do the same amount of time for groups because I just talk as Spirit asked me to. Half of what I say I don't remember because I'm just channeling it. It's so weird because after readings I'm like, it feels hazy, like how you might remember something after a night of drinking, but I'm totally sober, I promise. I have not been drinking. So I don't know, it's just interesting how that works. So what else? Okay. Let me go back for a second. So this was all about your heart, right? So so your abilities are somehow relating to how your heart opens. Okay, what I'm hearing is that your abilities are causing chaos because your heart is a little bit, I'm not saying shut, but it's just like it's kind of going like this. It's closing a little bit because of something. Maybe you're trying to protect yourself, and you need to know that you are safe right now. Even if there might be a situation that makes you feel unsafe, maybe a job is not working out, maybe a person is crazy, maybe whatever. But your heart is responding by closing up, and you need to just be aware of that, and so you need to be aware of it. Then you just kind of explore how it feels and invite it to just open back up a little bit. Just open back up, and not close anymore. Just open back up and let it do whatever it does. Just step back and watch. And if it doesn't immediately open back up, that's fine. If it even closes a little bit more, that's fine. As long as you maintain a little bit of awareness there while it happens, it's okay, because it will open back up if you just invite and allow it to, and kind of maintain a gentle awareness. Okay? So, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust. Sorry, what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Very cool. Okay. So you really are trying to grow something right now, and it's like, okay, how can I do this? This is chaotic. I cannot think straight. I cannot, I don't feel like I could do this by myself. And, I feel like things are just not aligning in a way that I want them to be aligned. And that is part of the journey for you, really. That's just, this is part of your growth, because you need to be able to hone these spiritual abilities that you have. Whether or not you ever truly get completely conscious of them is really not the point. Just using your heart space as an anchor down to your root, and a root to the earth, or whatever, is going to be enough to settle these abilities down and allow them to do what they are there to do, which is to open you up to loving, joyful experiences that bring you peace. Okay? So, you don't need to apologize to anyone for a change that you're making in your life. There are people that might surround you that are perhaps criticizing you for what you're doing or not doing, or the amount of time you're taking, or whatever, and you cannot allow yourself to give this too much credence, because it is it is, and oh, I can't speak. It is not allowing your heart to expand. And when your heart expands into this thing that you are trying to accomplish, you're going to accomplish it. And it's going to be like overnight. It's going to be one day I'm feeling like I'm doing my best to try to feel abundant and do what I need to do to maintain my energy. But to be honest, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. And the next day, things are just going to lift. And you'll be like, thank God, finally, thank you. And it's going to be because you followed the direction your heart was leading you, and you allowed it to expand, and without letting fear close it back up and compress it again. So if you have fear, you have fear. It's the same advice for everything, right? Invite it to be there for a second, and then allow it, and invite it to be released, and allow it to do that. And it might release immediately. It might take a while, but you just treat it like a baby, you know, because that's what it is. It's innocent. It's not intending to hurt you, but it is able to, if you give it that power. And sometimes it's really difficult to hear that and to know that's true. But I just want you to try to absorb that. Yeah. So, what does pile number 2 need to know about their heart space? How can the heart space be open for pile number 2? How can they expand it? How can they follow it? What do they need to know to make that heart energy just shine? First of all, if somebody calls you cringe, fuck them. That's number 1. Okay, so somebody in the past has hurt you, really, and that can be acknowledged. Somebody in the past has hurt you, okay, and you have to, and I'm not saying to play the role of the victim, but you have to accept that is the fact. They did hurt you, whether it seem like it should be hurt, or you should be hurt or not. It might be a situation where you're like, I don't know why that would hurt me. I'm not gonna let that hurt me. But if it already hurt you, saying that is not going to change that. So allow yourself to feel hurt by that, and again, invite it to be let go, and eventually it will be. But you do have to recognize that there is a wound there, and before it will heal, okay? If you don't recognize it, it's just denial. Okay, the Lovers. Yeah, this was probably a lot of you. This was probably a lot of you with someone romantic. YouTube algorithms. I don't think that you care, but YouTube does. It was probably somebody who you feel you had love with. It could also be with a brother or sister, I'm hearing. Or it could be with a job. But so maybe you've gotten recently fired from a job, maybe you had to quit a job. Maybe a job was like cold firing you by just giving you less and less hours. I know the feeling. But whatever it is, there is a fire within you. You are on the verge of really finding what's gonna make you sing like for real. And some of you, I keep getting singing. And that could be for me because I'm gonna talk about myself for a second. The BUTEYKO breathing that I've been doing, it is incredible. Not only does it help asthma, which I have, maybe not for much longer. Not only does it help asthma, not only does it help anxiety, not only does it help depression, not only does it help moods, not only does it help spiritual life because it helps you get grounded, but also it helps singing, because like I have never been able to really hold a tune, even though I've always loved to sing, but I've never been able to do it. And now I realize that there is a physical reason for that, and it's being cleared because of the BUTEYKO breathing. So that's why I say, people, at first it might not feel right to you, and that's okay. But I'm telling you guys, BUTEYKO breathing is the only reason it's not the first line treatment for a lot of things is for money. Because it could be used to treat asthma so that people don't have to be on those medications for the rest of their lives. Like, there's a documentary on YouTube, and you could just try it. I mean, not just for asthma, but for anything. Just try it, give it a try, drop the resistance to it, because I'm just getting this really strongly in this group. You guys will really benefit from this. And there's a lot of breath work, I realize that, but this is different because it is teaching you to have ease in your breath. And if you don't have ease in your breath, if you're doing breath work, pranayama, and you're stressing all the time, which most people are, because the society makes us so stressed that our diaphragm contracts too much, then it's not going to help you. Like, the pranayama is wonderful for someone who has a balanced system already, to a certain extent, but it will make you worse if your diaphragm is not working correctly, if your throat is tight all the time, if your heart space is tight all the time, okay? So, BUTEYKO breathing here, very, 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 very important. Also, clearing these love wounds. I can't tell you how to do that. You might need to go to a therapist for that. But well, let's see, what does it say? New. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't really know what to say about that. Okay, so for a lot of you, there is a love coming. There is a love coming, but it's like you don't really believe that because you have been so fucked over in love. But it's the truth. You do have love coming. So that pink candle is going to be for you, I think. And you're going to need to really align your energy to that. Not to force it to come, just to open your heart to it. Because again, this was pile 2 last time. Oh my gosh. Love is just going to be very important for you in your life for some reason. And this can also, if your love is not your thing right now, this can also be your passion. But either way, a love wound, whether it be from a parent, whether it be from a boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it be from a friend, is just something that must be cleared. It's been in your heart for a very long time, and it's just stagnant there. It's really stagnant. And okay, so the first thing I got from this was power, then I got trickster, then I got entertainer. So another thing your heart needs is just to have some good old, like, fun, but more like, I wouldn't say even passive fun, or just like playing a game, like a board game or something like that. Also, I think that jokes with the jester and the magician there, it's like you need to watch a comedy. Like, do you know Schitt's Creek? It's so good, and it's a kind of comedy that just makes you happy. Like, there's nothing, there's just pure joy, and then some sarcasm and bitchiness, which is always, I love that. But it really is such a joyful show. So maybe try that, or whatever comedy that you like. Watch it, or create it. That might be what you need. Maybe a lot of you are comedians. Tell me a joke if that's you. So, but comedy is extremely important for you guys to align that heart energy to your best life. Okay. What did I do? Okay, I'm gonna get a tea leaf card. I kind of gone over here, so I'm just gonna do one. So, what does pile 2 need to know, please? For the greatest benefit of their heart space. What is their heart trying to tell them? What is their heart needing them to know? I kind of went off the topic for you guys, but you know what? Spirit brings me to the topic that I need to talk about. So if I don't stay on the topic, if I talk about a different topic, that's what you need to hear. So, you can say it in the comments if you want, but I'm not really going to take much credence or heed to that. You guys, I cannot make this shit up. Look at this. Lord. Okay. So, love, deep affection, and caring. That's just, I have just chills again. Chills, chills, chills. Okay, I'm not really supposed to, time to get out of a situation. I really don't pull from the bottom of this, so this is not for everybody. This is just for a few of you. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to get out. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what it is if I'm talking to you. Pin, new job or career. So this could be that a lot of you need to get out of the job that you're in. It is crushing your soul, and it is not good for you anymore. And also, the heart there is just saying what I just said, that you have a love coming in, and it is a big one. Great worry over nothing. So if there's something you are really stressed about, money, I know I have one thing I'm very stressed about right now. And for all of us, for both of us, it's great worry over nothing, okay? Some of you may be by the water. If so, you really need to go get in touch with that water. Literally go touch it. Go swim in it if it's warm enough. Some of you just need to sit by the water. It will really help your heart. Your heart is craving that. If you have like if you have marine mammals around you in a aquarium or whatever it may be, then your heart is asking you to go and see them, because something about their spirit, you might have like a dolphin spirit or whatever. I've seen something about that before. And they're very intelligent creatures, and they're very telepathic creatures as well. And whether or not you hear them is irrelevant. Your heart will hear them, and they really have something that will be healing for your heart. Okay, that's interesting. I never would have thought that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I am so humbled. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the video to my channel, and like the video. Share it. Sing its praises. Celebrate it, even. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. Oh, down below is my booking. I would love to have you one-on-one. I have a 30-minute session and an hour session. So whatever works for you is good for me. All right, so the next is pile number 3. I'm gonna get some water before I start pile number 3, okay? I'm also gonna cleanse real quick. There's a fire starting in my heart. Not my best work. Okay. I'm doing an incense. D'accord. Vale. let's just clear out those energies from pile number 1 and number 2. Wish them well. Just cleanse out my own heart chakra a little bit, and my throat as well. And I'll just give you a little cleanse. Okay. I need to put this somewhere it's not going to burn. Oh. D'accord. Et alors, so, if you chose pile number 3, then this is for you. I honor how I want to feel. How are you not doing that? And this is not criticism, please. I know my voice is a little bit critical. So, here we go. This is not going to be a show about my flaws and me making admissions and trying to repent and stuff like that. But I will say that because of both a heart and throat chakra issue, that I am in the process of letting go, and it's very easy to do, but it's still not like immediate, you know. I have a problem with my tone, and I can really be, and sometimes it's not a problem. Sometimes it's very useful because it's very good for getting people to back the fuck off me, you know, and to defend myself. But also, it can be a little bit rude. it can be a little bit too stern. And that's not my intention. It's just how I know exactly why it's that way. I was told to stand up for myself, and so that's what I did. And then it turned into a little bit more of an excess, because the harassment was an excess. So this story somehow this story is relevant for you, because you're feeling some way that, first of all, you don't really want to feel, and everybody has those moments. But you're not. You've kind of like you've forgotten about your heart here, and that's what it's telling us, is that you've forgotten about me. You've forgotten about how I can make you feel. You've forgotten about how I can change you and turn you into a person that you love to be. Oh, I'm getting chills again. The chills have been going down my right side. Now, what does that mean? My right side is my masculine side. So that would mean, what is that on my hand? Oh, that's the ash from the Palo Santo. So that would mean it's active. So that means there's an action you must take. So your heart is asking you to take an action. It's an action that you've been afraid to take, but it's an action that you already know that you kind of have to do. Maybe some of you don't, but I'm getting chills again. Most of you know what this is. And because you know once you do, you're gonna feel much better. But it's like your fear is telling you, no, you're not gonna feel better. In fact, you're gonna feel worse. And let me give you 5,000 reasons why you're gonna feel like shit when you do this. No, it's a lie. It is a lie. Especially if you take one of the pieces of my advice, one of them, BUTEYKO breathing, FELDENKRAIS, TRE, trauma release exercises, and maybe even Infinite Being Academy with Yi or Sagi, or anything that will, any kind of meditations that will expand your energy and make you feel the truth of our non-dual existence. It seems so heady, it seems so like air energy and out there, but it's the truth, and it frees you, because it's like when you feel it, you feel it. It's so real. It's a direct experiential thing. And when you feel it, it it really cleanses out. It's like it's you literally do harmonize your energy with the energy here. It's like imagine, okay, imagine how do you feel like just okay, let's do a little Feldenkrais thing. So put your arm just on your lap and take a little breath. A little breath, not a huge breath, okay? We don't need to hear it. And then just pull your arm up very gently, but don't use your hands. So just like loose hand, okay? And just feel the weight of your hand there. And just use your arm, maybe a little shoulder. I am not a Feldenkrais practitioner, so you can find this on Taro, Taro, Feldenkrais on YouTube, and he can explain it better. But for now, this is fine. Just use your arm to pull up your hand. And when I say pull, that doesn't mean putting too much force in it. Just feel how it feels to do that and not have any tension in your hand. Because a lot of us have a lot of tension in our hands. And I want you to just feel how kind of it feels like you can feel all four sides, you can feel through it. And now imagine what does it feel like? So let's do it with both of our arms and then just do like this. And feel both hands. And then now feel between the hands there. What does that feel like? And you might be saying nothing, but that's exactly what I'm saying. There is no anxiety here in the air. There is no anxiety in space. And you know that. You can sense that. That is expansion. Some of you are like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's okay. Just let it, you know, just let it kind of melt into you over the next few days, okay? So I don't know why I got this, but I'm gonna ask, no, we're gonna pick another card and then I'm gonna use the pendulum, okay? So what is pile number 3's heart trying to tell them other than the fact that we are all one, that I am you and you are me, and I am all there is and that you are all there is? What else is the heart trying to say? Oh, I have everything on silent on my phone and everything, but I can feel someone trying to call me right now. I said in my other reading, and then my left side started kind of having chills, which is my feminine side, so it's receptive, so I'm getting that message. How cool is that? So I said the other day that during these readings lately, it's like the psychic like meter goes really high. It's such an interesting experience that we can all have. So I'm not special. Maybe I am a little bit, but no more than you are. So the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So this is a message I've been getting all week, and it is about trust. And I had a really serious discussion with my ceiling about trust, because I was like, look, I want to trust you. I do. But it's difficult because you haven't given me a lot of reason. And, you know, I was kind of being a little bit unfair with that. But in other places, maybe not. Maybe it's perfectly fair. So either way, though, I feel like maybe you understand that. Like, there's this certain level of trust that it's really hard for you to have, both with the universe and with other people. So your heart is calling you to trust. And is it other people, or is it the universe, or is it both? Whatever your heart says, I want you to close your eyes and take a very light breath, not a deep breath, a light breath. Not through your mouth. I'm just breathing through my mouth because I have to talk. And then put your mind into your heart. Let it drop down like water. It's better if you sit up more straight, but not if you're uncomfortable. Do whatever makes you comfortable. And then ask, do I trust the universe? Do you feel, when you ask that question, do you feel more of an opening in your heart, or do you feel more of a closing? An opening is a yes, a closing is a no. Now, do the same thing. Do I trust other people? Opening is a yes, closing is a no. So, just keep track of those answers. There's nothing you need to tackle right now. Some of you are like, okay, I need to fix this. No, there's nothing to fix. Okay, guys, nothing to fix. You're good. You're good. You're good. Don't worry. But your subconscious will deal with that as long as you invite it to do so. Okay. If you don't invite it to, if you don't intend it to, then no, it's not going to. But it will if you allow it to and ask it to. Okay. But don't try to force it to, because it will turn on you that way, and then you definitely won't trust, because you'll be like, what? You're gonna betray me? Like, I was just trying to take care of you, and you're gonna betray me? So okay. There was one card here that I really wanted to show, but maybe it's not meant to be because now I don't see it. Oh, here it is. God, there's a few of them. There's these colors on these cards are so good. The universe works fast when having fun. I think that message was partly just for me, but because I'm having a good time with this reading today. But all of the readings had this today. Your heart needs that. Your inner child is very much like intertwined with your heart. There's no separating them, just like there's no separating you and me and the rest of the universe. So the universe works fast when I'm having fun. You really need to do something that you're going to enjoy. Now the first group was some kind of like just play in general, something that they liked to do when they were younger. The second group was more like play, but like a game, like a board game, maybe a video game as well. But you guys, it's more like whatever is fun. It could be that you've had fun as an adult, not that kind of fun. That too, if you want. But this is more of an innocent fun. But I'm getting painting. I really am. Painting, drawing, doing art, doing something creative, something that's not stressful. If you have an iPad, there are really great, and a pencil or whatever, or a stylus, there are really great apps for that. If you don't have an iPad, then don't worry about it. You don't need it. You can use paper. Honestly, that's better. Paper is much better in a lot of ways, but iPad is just easier because you already have it on hand, right? But the paper, if you do colored pencils, I think I know one person who has never said that they're going to watch my videos, but I can sense him now. So I know he's doing colored pencils. He's really good at that. And colored pencils are really fun, by the way. I used to do that. I'm not a big artist, but I used to do that. I would show you, but I have no idea where my coloring book is. It was a Star Trek coloring book. And you can do so much with colored pencils. So anyway, some of you really need to do colored pencils. Okay, so I picked more cards for you guys than I did the others. Don't tell. Guys, I want you to just pick. And I'm not necessarily going to pick the one that you specifically asked, but I'm just going to feel out which one was the one that y'all wanted, like which one got the most votes psychically here. So, Heart, tell me, which one of these decks does the collective and Pile 3 want to use the most? I'm getting this one. Okay. Oh, but guys, look what's on the bottom of the deck. The Sun. So I'm going to use this card. First of all, you guys are on the right path. So you really, like, I think that even you might even know that, but there is really good things coming to you, and I'm not just like saying this to make you happy. Like, I don't really do that. If you know me at all, you know I don't do that. But I am glad to say that. I'm glad to be able to say that. There are some things that you are becoming aware of about yourself that haven't been super great, that you haven't been super proud of, that you haven't been super comfortable with, but I feel like you're sitting with it and you're being like, okay, well, that's me, and that's okay. And it's not always going to be that way. You're not always going to be like, oh, well, that's fine. It's just there's going to be times where you're like kind of feel a little bit shitty about it, and that's okay too. But as you're kind of working on just like letting that go, and being okay with being who you are, and also there's this whole message about authenticity the past few weeks, and like I said last time, it kind of irritates me how some psychics will use it as a weapon. Like, if they don't like somebody who's commenting, if they don't like the energy that they're seeing on the table, they will like say, oh, you're unauthentic. Like, it's and in that in itself is such a bell to me that the psychic themselves are not being very authentic. Because there are times when people are not being authentic to us, and you can definitely tell. But there are other times where it's being used as a weapon. Anyway, that's my whole spiel about that. And so I think that somebody might be trying to use that as a weapon against you. They might not be using the word authentic, but they might not even be doing it to your face. But they're kind of saying you're fake. And I want you to know that you are not fake. You are not. This is the least fake you can be. This is pure visibility, pure, okay, this is me. That's this, okay? So you're not fake. There was something else I wanted to say about that. Okay, but I want you guys, okay, so there's this one thing. There's this kind of surge of, I don't want to call them gurus, because they're not calling themselves that. But a lot of men online, maybe women too, but I've seen a lot of men, and I'm not saying that they're fake or they're whatever. I'm not criticizing them, but I do see them putting themselves a little bit on a pedestal and pretending like I have zero shame, I have zero, like I don't regret my past. I don't have any, I'm just love and all that. But it's easy to see through. It's transparent, and if they just were like, yeah, I can admit that I do feel shame about some things, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I feel shitty about that, and because I did the wrong thing, and it is what it is. Then it would be much easier to accept what they're saying. But when you can just you can sense it in their face that they're not really being 100%. It's like, well, what else are you not going to be 100% about in the future? So just be very wary of people who never reveal any of their flaws. I'm not saying that they need to be critical of themselves all the time, but if somebody is saying that they all of their flaws are in the past, that's a red alert. Okay, nobody's flaws are all in the past. Even Thich Nhat Hanh, I don't know if you know who that is. Even like a master Buddhist, like monk, even he might not show it to the public, but I guarantee you, his close ones, he would have never said that he had no flaws. Mm-mm. And even that's interesting, because the Buddhists, when you when you go to a certain level, you no longer need to follow certain rules, like certain rules like eating animals, for example. After a certain level, you're allowed to do literally whatever you want, because you are completely aware of it. And I don't want to like ruin the story for you because I really don't remember exactly what the whole reasoning behind it was. But anyway, so they can be their authentic selves, even these really master Buddhist monks, and there's no shame in that in whatsoever. But they can also admit that they do make mistakes, and they could admit that they felt shame before, and they could admit that it's 11111 on the clock. Anyway, that they can admit those things, right? They can admit they're human, and it's no problem. But and you can see that in their face. There's no like there's no delusion of that with them. But with these younger guys who are kind of like, oh well, very all peace and love and you can change yourself and this and that, like, I think they're great. I really do. I really think they're super great. There's been some that have really given me great insights into myself. I think a lot of them are very psychic, and they I don't know if they realize that or not, but they say a lot of like kind of creepily accurate things. But there's a certain level where they're not showing how they truly feel. So I don't know why I went on this. I think first of all, it is a warning. I think the warning is that there are tricksters in around you that are trying to tell you who you are, and you cannot listen to them, no matter how convincing they seem. They are not telling you the truth. I hope you're hearing me, because this is really important for some of you guys. There are people out there who want to close your heart. They do not want you to shine. And I don't really like giving this message because it's like it puts you on the defensive, but that's not what the intention is. The intention is to allow them to do whatever they're gonna do, to say whatever they're gonna say, and set the boundaries you need to set once they do it. Let them show you who they are, and then say, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I really hope that something changes for you in the future, but I cannot be there for you. I can't support you or anything. I really don't. There's some of you that is very important that you do not be mean about this, because this person could be very manipulative and use it against you. You really need to bless them and go. Okay? And it's not just going to be one person. It's going to be little scenarios that maybe you can't set boundaries with these people because they're at your work, like they might be your boss or something. You can't set complete boundaries, but you can do so in your mind, and you can do so energetically, and that's what we're saying. Anyway, okay, so your heart is also craving more abundance. So that's so stressful to me too, I know. I'm sorry. But really, like, I don't think it's abundance in money for some of you. That's what I'm getting. It's like you have a project that you need to work on. Maybe it's the painting, but you need to produce something. You need to start a new project. It's gonna make you so happy, dude. It's going to make you feel so much better. And you are talented as, like, you really are. Like, I'm getting this really talented vibe. Like, I don't know if it was pile number 1 or 2, and their spiritual powers were just, like, up there. Like, up there. But, and yours are too, but really, your spiritual powers are very much grounded, and something about your creativity. Something about the things that you make, which will change other people's energy for the better. And again, remember, all of this is about our soul mission. I might have to go back and put that in the video, but this is all about our soul mission and how we can serve the world by serving ourselves. Because the world is in a place, oh, they're telling me, please be careful about how you word this. The world is, it's in a very, I can't think of the word. I'm thinking of, I keep getting a Spanish word. But it's in a place that is, it's in a place where there's a fork, basically. I wanted to avoid saying that, but there's like a fork in the road. We talked about this. But it's shaky, right? And we must bring ease to ourselves if the world is going to go in the direction we want it to go. That's basically the whole thing. So do that project. Don't let it be a stressor. Do it for 5 minutes. Just take out the paper and then go, okay, I'll do this the rest tomorrow. And then the next day you'll see the paper on there. Okay, I need to get my pencils and put them on the table. Just leave them there. And every day is a little bit more. You don't need to like make it a whole thing, right? Just a little bit every day, and it's gonna change things, and it's really gonna align your energy. Okay, finally, what your heart is craving? Something about family, or some of you need to clean your home. I can relate to that. I've been cleaning today. Some of you need to call your mother. I did that already today, so thank you very much. Some of you need to go out. Like, some of you might live in the countryside, or maybe you just need to go to the countryside. Hills are very opening and relaxing for you. Going to one of those, you know, those kind of landscapes would be really good. Somebody in your family is also starting something new. Someone in your family, okay, for some of you, somebody in your family is offering you something. They might be offering you money. They might be offering you a place to live. They might be offering you a car. Whatever it is, don't have shame. Try not to let your, how can I say that? I don't want to say don't feel a certain way. That's just not right. But what I mean to say is don't shame yourself for accepting help when you need it. Okay, because honestly, when you accept this help, it's really going to help you get to a place where you won't need it anymore anyway, right? So some of you really need to call your mother or your father, and if your mother or father are passed, maybe you just need to pray to them, or pull out your own cards and just see what messages they have for you. If you want one of those kinds of pick a cards, then put it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, please. Also, inner child, once again, you really, everybody's group today had this in there. Your heart is craving you to do something like you did when you were younger. For some of you, I get some of you are men and have memories of going fishing. But it doesn't mean, I'm sorry, not everybody who went fishing are men, but that's the vision I have, probably because my dad used to do that, but the people I'm seeing are not me. They have different colored hair. It's like blondes or something like that. I don't know, they don't really look quite like me. But anyway, maybe if you like it, because I don't like fishing, then go. But whether you're a boy or a girl or non-binary or whatever, going out into the water, going on a boat would be super good for your heart, okay? So a lot of this message was a little bit different from the others because there is kind of an energy. It's not even that you need to defend yourself. It's like, oh, they're congratulating you because you've gotten to a place where maybe it does hurt your feelings for a second when somebody tries to say that you're fake or that you're this or that you're that, but really you have gotten to a place where it doesn't really affect you. Like, it affects you to the point where every human being is affected, right? But it doesn't stick with you. It doesn't traumatize you anymore. If somebody says you can't sit at our table, you're like, okay, well, I can go eat lunch by myself and I'm perfectly happy, so I'm gonna watch The Office. Some of you need to watch The Office, okay? So I'm gonna do tea leaf cards for you. This pile, ooh, okay, chills right here. I'm gonna have to look at what that means. I'm gonna do tea leaf cards for you. This pile went on a lot longer than I anticipated, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to say you're welcome. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I know I already said that. Also, share this with your friends if you think that they would enjoy it. And leave a comment down below, say how it resonated. I would love to hear from you. I have readings available, personal readings every day. I have an hour opening, and I can probably open more if I get more clients from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Paris time. So just convert that to your time. If you have another time that you really would prefer, then please let me know. So Rose, I think every tea leaf card that I pulled, for the first tea leaf card that I pulled in each of these piles, has been something like a heart or something red like a heart. I think the first two were both hearts. I can't remember the first. I could be wrong about that. The second one was definitely just heart. And this one is rose. So burning rose incense would be really good for you. If you have roses in your garden, go pick one. If I don't know if it's the right season for that, excuse me if I'm being ignorant. But yes, going and smelling the roses literally would be really good. But incense is what I'm getting. Really burn some rose incense, or getting some rose essential oil would be really great for you to help open that heart and just you know, give it what it needs. There is a possible love interest for some of you, and it is, and yes, here we have the door. Opportunities are waiting for you. Okay, so you might have been part of pile number 2 as well, because, like, guys, I have gotten this message so many times during these readings. There is a wonderful, wonderful love waiting for you. If you're not interested in love right now, that's okay. Because when your heart opens, I think that will change. If you don't think it's possible for you, that's okay. I want you to try to change that thought and just say, what if? What if I was capable of being loved? What if I was someone worthy of love? What if I was deeply, truly loved by another and by myself? What would that look like? Just envision, what would it look like? Okay, and that will start to soften your heart a little bit, and it doesn't mean that you need to get love of another person, right? But I think it will open you up to the idea, and that just being open to that idea, this is hard for me to say because I have the same problem, will really change your world and how you see it. Your eyes will just be softer. It kind of gives me a melancholy, but a very hopeful one. I don't know if that makes sense to you. That's the energy I'm getting, like this hopeful melancholy. Like the past has been really difficult, and I for a long time haven't felt like I could ever be loved, but now I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with the sun card earlier. Leg, stepping into a new experience. So do not hold yourself back. You have a beautiful opportunity coming up. I don't know what it is, if it's just love or if it's also a job or just an opportunity to be creative. Whatever it is, say yes. Set good boundaries with people who don't have your best intentions, but say yes to anything, even if you do have to take a risk that your heart is telling you to do. I don't know if I did the heart, like the listening to the heart exercise in this group or group number 2, but if it was group number 2, go back to group number 2 and just find it. I might put it in the timestamps because that would be useful for you. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like us. This is the 13th time I'm saying that, but excuse me. And then also book a reading with me. I would love to talk to you. I know that there is someone out there who's been watching this who really does like, it would be very useful for you to have a reading with me. Crib, birth or conception of a child. Oh, wonderful. I don't think that's really about a child necessarily. For some of you it is, but some of you are just getting some love and attention from probably a man, but also a woman for some of you. Maybe other. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm super humbled. I really am. I thank you from the bottom of my heart that you watched. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.